My God, man.
Yeah, it couldn't have been easy.
I built so much patience during that time, and I'm so glad I had so much patience. But
Yeah.
the way that we would go about getting better and talking to each other, it just wasn't professional whatsoever.
Yeah.
It was just raw emotion coming out.
Yeah.
And we figured out a way to bash our heads together and make it work and be great.
Yeah.
So, man,
That's amazing.
It was stressful, though, man.
Yeah.
Oh, the amount of times where I heard Crim saying he's going to beat the hell out of Pat.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I had $1 for every time.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, and that's where the competition level, and that's where it's as sports as it gets. How many conversations like that you guys were having have been had in a locker room, have been had on the field, any field, in a competitive setting? So I completely believe it. I mean, look, I experienced it. I've done a really, really good job in my career. Maybe it's because I'm older, so I shouldn't take as much credit because I had life underneath me. But man, dealing with the egos that, obviously rising superstars, the Nate Shots, the fucking scumps, them butting heads, and then, obviously getting the Crimsix, who like Crim to me has always been like top 3 favorite players of all time, right? I even said it when he was on Complexity, I believe at the time. Like I got interviewed by Puck, and he's like, who do you like outside of your team? Who's that? And I say Crimsix, man. He just came from Halo. Like, it's a good story. Like, and I love watching him play. So he's always been a player. But, dealing with him and working with him and doing that, like, you get to see, like, the level of competition that just, he can't help to be any other way besides a fucking competitor.
He expects perfection.
Yeah.
Like I said, I spoke words on certain players when I stopped competing.
Yeah.
And he has the most competitive mind that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And he expects greatness from the people around him.
Yeah.
And that's why he is where he is, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I feel like to be so dominant in probably anything, you have to think a certain way about it at all times. And he's definitely one of those people.
Yeah. And you know what? I thank him for it, because we wouldn't be able to get to where we're at if he didn't, as much as it is tough to sometimes listen, and it's tough to listen to him like do his Crim thing. Like if he took it a tiny little bit easier on his teammates, like, it is these sort of pushes that pushes people to greatness.
Definitely.
And look, I'm not going to say that his teammates aren't talented. They are, obviously. But, it is that unreasonable way of thinking that pushes people to the other. I mean, let's go back to World War II when we were boot camping here. I hear yelling, you're over there, they're playing there. I hear yelling, and I come out to see what's happening. All of a sudden, I see a fucking mix amp flying at my feet. And then Crimsix had literally just thrown it, right? And then bounce into my feet. And I just went like this. I'm like, I can't even say anything. Not that I couldn't, but I just will never be able to be in that sort of competitive mental state that he's in. So instead of me adding on to the frustration, I just said, it's fucking Crim doing Crim fucking things.
It's Crim.
Yeah.
He gets in these modes where he gets in that sort of bitchy mode.
Yeah.
And you do your best to calm him down to a certain extent, but you got to let him get that frustration and explain himself in the way that he wants to.
Yeah.
Because without it, people aren't going to listen.
And I'll give you the perfect example. In that situation, it would have been really easy to be like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Calm the fuck down. I didn't. I just let this competition practice and all that shit. I did when he fucking threw my drone on the ground because he grabbed it the wrong way. We were playing big ball soccer at the Scuff House, and I'm taking the aerial shots, and then the drone's coming down, and I'm like, Crim, get out of the way. And then he's just looking at it. I can see him just like wanting to be one with the drone. I'm like, Crim, get out the way. It's landed. It lands automatically. It knows how to land by itself. He's like, nah, I better fucking grab it, right? And I can see it. He didn't say anything. So he goes and grabs one side of it. One side of it had 2 legs. He grabs one side. So the drone tilts to the side and fucking cuts him. And he's like, and I'm like, don't throw my fucking drone. He throws it on my, what the fuck? I get so mad at him. I'm like, don't grab my fucking drone like that again. It is not your drone. I don't give a fuck. You grabbed it the wrong way. It was your fault. So I laid into him in that scenario. We're having fun.
Yeah.
You fucked up, and it's my drone, motherfucker. Right? The mix amp, you're in competition. I understand.
A little different.
People break bats all the time when they're angry.
It's Crim rage, dude. You just got to figure out how to deal with it.